Good morning to all of you, our community, our law enforcement partners, along with all of your invited guests. I'm just thrilled to be here and to personally thank you all on behalf of the work you're doing for our older adults. And thank you, Dolores, for sharing your story. It was incredibly powerful and incredibly helpful for folks to hear how easy it is to become a victim. It is my privilege to be here today to highlight the important work that the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Maryland is doing to combat elder abuse and financial exploitation. We are pleased to continue to work with AARP Maryland and our partners throughout the state to do our part in protecting older adults. Between 2024 and 2025, older adults lost billions, that's a B, billions of dollars in targeted fraud schemes, including investment, tech support, romance scams, and so many others. In response, last year in Maryland, we proudly pursued justice for elderly victims through prosecuting criminal and civil cases. We secured guilty verdicts and prison sentences where appropriate, along with default judgments and orders of restitution to recover as much money as possible from these perpetrators. I'm pleased to say that our office remains part of the transnational elder fraud strike force, bringing together U.S. attorneys' offices, the FBI, U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and Homeland Security investigations to prosecute the largest and most harmful global elder fraud schemes. This strike force combines U.S. and foreign law enforcement resources to dismantle criminal enterprises. And let's talk about some of the highlights out of my office, starting with a case our office announced just last month on March 30th, and these are just a few examples. In that case, our office charged a Nigerian national living here in Frederick, Maryland, in connection with a transnational romance fraud conspiracy. According to the allegations, the conspirators earned their victims' trusts, and then they used those relationships to convince the victims to send money to bank accounts that were created in the name of shell companies, where the victims' money was then laundered through foreign banks. As alleged, more than 70 victims, including several, too many, who were elderly, lost more than $5 million in connection with the conspiracy. Additionally, this year, multiple defendants pled guilty or have received federal prison sentences after pleading guilty to charges connected to their roles in a transnational lottery fraud scheme in which they defrauded numerous elderly victims. The co-conspirators convinced victims that they had won large cash prizes from a lottery or sweepstakes, but that they needed to pay taxes and fees in advance in order to collect those winnings. As a result, victims lost more than $3.5 million from this scheme. Last March, we also charged an individual with bank fraud and aggravated identity theft for his role in a fraud scheme. Through the scheme, that defendant used his position as a bank teller to make at least 26 unauthorized case withdrawals from the bank accounts of 5 victims. 4 of those victims were over 80 years old. As a result, that individual received a 3-year federal prison sentence. The legal work our prosecutors perform is important, but I recognize that work is only one component of the solution. We can help prevent older adults from becoming fraud victims by raising awareness in the community and for encouraging and reporting suspected elder fraud. Raising awareness is what Protect Week is all about, providing older adults and their support systems with the tools to recognize and avoid scams. Sharing this information may help prevent someone you love from losing their hard-earned life savings. So a final word about reporting. I'll add one more to the list. To report suspected elder fraud, please contact the Department of Justice's National Elder Fraud Hotline at 833 fraud 11. That's 833-372-8311. Please also report to your local law enforcement. I am incredibly proud of the work accomplished by the U.S. Attorney's Office and our partners, but we know our work is not done. We look forward to our continued partnership and an impactful Protect Week. Thank you.